Today I'll be doing something that I haven't done in a long time. So I grabbed my old book from when I was in school in culinary school. I'm gonna make a quiche. For this recipe I will be needing 250 grams of flour, 125 grams of butter, some salt and an egg. So these are the amounts. Then you have to mix them, and this is where you get your hands dirty. As you could see, I cut the butter in slices so it's easier to mix it with the flour. And then you just gently massage that in and squeeze the butter, mix it with the flour. Of course, it's important to first clean the surface area that you work on. Add the egg and mix that thoroughly. Now the recipe doesn't say to add water, but I add a little bit of water to make it more into a dough instead of these crumbles that you see here. As you can see, it's starting to look more like a dough now than the crumbles that I had before. And I just keep mixing it together. What you can also do when you make a quiche is take puff pastry and use that instead of making the dough yourself. However, I have plenty of time and I'd like to try this again, so that's why I'm making the dough myself. Then you can use a roller to flatten it, or you just do it by hand. To avoid it from sticking all over, I just put a bit of flour on top and on the bottom. That way it's not going to stick everywhere. And then I just flatten it out. So I rolled it out and this is about how much it's become. Then I have the form, some baking paper. I'm just going to fold that. I cut off a bit from the top. That way when I put it in, could be a bit more. It's not going to stick out everywhere, is the idea if I do it properly. So I had the baking paper in there, put in the dough, then cut off the extra, and then my card ran out of memory. Anyway, so you see, you poke some holes in the dough to make sure it doesn't rise too much. Then you add in another layer of baking paper. Put in some dry peas or whatever. Put that in and then put it in the oven. About 200 degrees for about 10 minutes. While the dough is in the oven, I start preparing the vegetables. A bit of onion, some garlic, and what I really like about the quiche is you can basically put in whatever you want. I'm not going to add any meat today, but you can put in some bacon, or you can put in some chicken, whatever you like. I just put in a bunch of vegetables, and then I'm going to show you later on with the mixture, the cream and egg mixture, and how you put it all together. So I took about 2 eggs, some cream, a bit of salt and pepper, some Cajun spices, I like those, and then you mix them up. You can add whatever you like. Italian spices, paprika, just whatever you feel like. So after the 15 minutes in the oven with the dried peas, I took out the peas and now I'll put it in the oven for another 5 minutes. So this is the baked version. Now I can add the vegetables and the egg and cream mixture. And then it goes back into the oven. So it's all done now. So it's time to take it out of the form. And be careful because it's hot. Maybe a bit longer. It's still a bit moist. But that's basically the idea. I'll put it in a bit longer.